You don't need to tell one more person. You don't need one more friend's opinion. You don't need to wait for one more sign. You don't need to think about it for one more night. Because deep down, and I think you know this, you already know what you need to do. You just don't want to do it yet. And that is one of the most human things there is. When we're in the middle of something we're not ready to leave, the mind does something very specific. It bargains. You think about it over and over, the same loop, the same details, the same questions with no new answers. You tell the same story to different people, your best friend, your sister, a colleague, a stranger on the internet, hoping that one of them will finally say the thing that makes the decision feel easier. You're not looking for information. You already have the information. What you're looking for is permission. Permission to trust what you already feel. Permission to act on what you already know. And the painful truth about that search is this: no one can give it to you, because it was never theirs to give. Clarity doesn't come from thinking more. Clarity comes from finally trusting what you already know. Here's the thing about your body. It doesn't lie. It doesn't overthink. It doesn't rationalize. It doesn't make excuses or stay out of loyalty or tell itself to wait a little longer. It just knows. And it told you. Maybe it told you the moment your chest tightened in a conversation that should have felt safe. Maybe it told you when your voice got smaller, when you started choosing your words more carefully, editing yourself, shrinking into a version of you that felt unfamiliar. Maybe it told you when you stopped feeling fully like yourself around someone you used to feel free with. Those weren't just feelings to be analyzed. Those were not signs asking you to wait for more evidence. Those were information. Your nervous system, your gut, the oldest and most honest part of you, registering something that your mind was still trying to negotiate away. And you kept searching for proof. But the body had already given its verdict. I want to say something clearly. Because this part matters, choosing yourself is not a betrayal. It is not an overreaction. It is not being dramatic or selfish or giving up too easily. Choosing yourself is simply this: deciding to be loyal to the version of you that no longer accepts less than you deserve. It means acknowledging, quietly, honestly, that something no longer feels good. That a place that should feel like home has started to feel like a performance. That someone who should bring out the best in you has started to make you feel like too much, or not enough, or both at the same time. And that acknowledgement, that quiet, honest recognition, is not weakness. It is one of the hardest and most courageous things a person can do. For the next step, you don't need certainty. You don't need everyone to understand. You don't need approval. You just need a small amount of courage. And here is what courage actually looks like in this moment. It doesn't look like changing your entire life overnight. It doesn't look like having all the answers before you move. It looks like taking one next step. Just one that is aligned with the truth you already carry inside you. Not sending that message. Closing a door that has been left open out of habit, not hope. Saying to yourself quietly, I already know, and I am going to start honoring that. Maybe what you need right now isn't an answer. Maybe what you need is to complete a goodbye that has been waiting for a long time, to accept a truth you have been holding at a distance, and to begin, gently, slowly, returning to yourself. Sometimes returning to yourself starts with something very simple. A message you don't send, a door you choose to close, a conversation you stop having with yourself at 2 a.m. These small acts don't feel like much in the moment, but they are the beginning of something. And I want to be honest with you about the hardest part of all of this. The hardest part is not the decision itself. The hardest part is two things that happen around it. The first is seeing the truth before something is over. While you're still in it, while there is still comfort and history and the hope that it might change. Seeing clearly and choosing to trust what you see. The second is not denying it after it's over, not rewriting the story, Not going back to the version where you convinced yourself it wasn't that bad. Because the mind wants to protect you from grief. And one of the ways it does that is by making you doubt what you knew. You knew. Even then, you knew. And that knowing deserves to be honored. Not with punishment, not with regret, with the quiet dignity of someone who finally stopped waiting for permission and gave it to themselves. This is your sign. Next week, why most relationships end, how we lose ourselves, and how we begin to find our way back. I'll see you there.